Hi there, my name is Cole, and today we are going to be building the Toyota T100 Baja truck in Lego. Now, today I don't have it with me because we're actually going to be building it right here. So that way you guys can see all the techniques go together in real time, relatively, and so it should be good. Now, if you'd like to build this model yourself, instructions are available at my website at the link in the description below, MCGWERKS.com. They look like this. I think they look pretty good. I also have instructions for a ton of other models that I've made over there, so you might want to go check that out. A little bit of backstory. I made this model over a year ago, and it was a commission model for a client, and eventually I released the instructions to everyone else. But when I have posted this model in other places, such as Instagram and Rebrickable, people really like it, and so I was like, the majority of you may have already seen this model on Instagram or Rebrickable or something. So it's Toyota T100 Baja truck, the Baja truck version of the Toyota T100, although I don't think it shared anything at all with the road-going pickup truck. Extremely cool looking truck, had this Toyota 80s, 90s racing livery on it, which looks incredibly cool. It's such a nice color gradient, color scheme. And it won the Baja 1000 at some point. Most of you will probably know it from Forza Horizon 4, where it was kind of a meta car, and I don't know, I really like to drive it in Forza. Now, people like this model so much that I decided to put it on a shirt, which you can see right here. Now, this shirt is a prototype shirt, so the final one will look a bit different, but it's a little blueprint design. It has some information about the truck. It has some, it highlights the various Lego parts used on this model that I am about to build. I'm doing two shirts. I'm doing this one and the F50 GT, which a lot of you guys seem to like. They will release sometime next couple weeks. If you would like to be notified as soon as possible when they release, I recommend you sign up for the new email list, which is linked in the description below. Just put your email in and you're signed up for it. I promise not to send you more than 13 emails a year. I'll probably send you less than 13 emails a year, and you'll get some benefits from signing up eventually. But for now, check the link. I'm really excited about these. They look really sick. Enough advertising. Let's get on with building the truck. Alright, so I had planned on building the individual sections of this model and then highlighting oh, this is what this part does. And I'm still going to do that. I just built the first part and it took way longer than I thought it would, because I ordered some parts for this thing, but not all the parts, because I knew I had them somewhere, and I did have them somewhere. It just took me forever to find them. So let's look at this first part. We'll kind of go bit by bit, highlighting how each part works in the model, and then at the end of the video I'll have a finished model, and I don't know, we'll see how it goes. So we have half of the chassis, and it's pretty straightforward. There's just the gray stripe going on the side here. We have a lot of studs not on top pieces here. We have the 1x1 2/3 studs on one side, brick thingy. I don't know what the proper name is. We have the 2x2 version. Actually, it's the 2x2 version. It's also a plate back there. We have a bunch of connection points. We have basically what is going to become the seat for the minifigure driving this thing, and we have several connection points for all the stuff that's going to come later. Now, this is half of the chassis. You notice there are Technic bricks here on either side, and those are going to come in very handy in our next section. For our next module section, we have the axles, what I'm going to call the axles, because that's what they hold the wheels on. And so both of these are just absolutely covered in connection points. The front axle, as you can see here, has brackets on the front and facing in every imaginable direction. There are approximately 8 of the D-snot, we're going to call them, pieces on this thing, and then I think there are 4 in the rear one. So yeah, a ton of them. I think it's 25 total D-snot pieces used on this truck. So yeah, definitely. Well, it probably would be possible without them, but it would be, I don't know, I don't think it would look nearly as good. The front one also has the gear shift. Now, as you will notice, both of these have these 2 studs on the side here and here, same on the other side, and this is where they connect to the chassis I showed you earlier. And this is where those Technic bricks I showed you earlier come in, where we have them on both sides, and the studs and the D-snot pieces go straight into there. Now, this is a rather high friction connection, but it's very solid, and it's at an offset height, so this means that the chassis is now ever so slightly lower or higher, depending on which way you look at it, than the axles, and this will have a massive effect on how the truck looks later. And there's our kind of almost done chassis. Alright, this build is taking longer enough that the sun started to move in the sky and the lighting in this video is changing. But the chassis is finished at least, and so you guys can see it here. There are just a ton of connection points on this thing. This box represents some metal box in the real truck. I don't know what it does. Maybe it's fuel. And you can just see how many connection points there are. There are brackets and studs not on top pieces all over this thing. It looks really crazy, actually. And now it's ready for all the body panels to be attached. All right, now we can start to attach some of these body panels, such as the front of the truck, which is pretty simple. It's 9 studs wide like the rest of the truck is. That also contributes to why the chassis looks a bit crazy and the way it goes together being 9 studs wide. And so we have the front grille, which is pretty straightforward. These nice bash bars in the front, which will angle to the sides. And this just goes straight on the studs that are facing forward. Just like that. Then we have an addition, or well, the center part of the bash bar, which also has lights on it. It's just using this like guardrail piece, and it's got a little clip on the back. And by flipping this over, you can see there's a small attachment point for it right there. This just clips and rotates upward with some obstructions. Hold on. And with that, the bash bar is in place. To attach more of the body, we will move on to the sides, and this consists very simply of a 1x5 plate. There are a lot of 1x5 plates on this thing thanks to its offset or odd width build, some curved slopes, and then we have the racing livery, which is formed relatively simply by some wedge plates like so. And I must say, this is pretty simple, but I think it just looks so good, especially when it's covered up with some more wedge plates to clean up the design a bit, just like so. And there we have the side body panels, and you can already see I just love the way this color scheme looks so much in Lego. Then we have the hood with the same gradient on it, and this is using some interesting asymmetrical building in there to get everything to work. That just goes right here. Then to cover the front sides of the hood, we have this interesting fender assembly, which is basically built upside down. It uses a lot of the more recent pieces that allow for upside down building, like the curved slope inverted with studs on top, and the 1x3 tile, I guess, that's inverted, or plate with no plate on the bottom. And this goes upside down using a clip piece to go right on top of the fender right here, and it lines up very nicely and cleanly around everything there. Same goes for the other side, like so. And this looks really good in my opinion. I'm super happy with the way the front of this thing turned out. So then a similar technique is used for the back of the truck, where you can see on both sides we just have these slopes on clips, and they just go on the one round tile with a bar on top, and they go around this fender piece very nicely. Put a tile on top, boom, super clean. Really love the way this looks. We have these droid arms which will attach the windshield, or what we're going to call the windshield because this truck, even in real life, has no windshield. And then we have the roll cage, which is just formed with these bar holders with a bar, and then like the 2L bar with stop or the pneumatic hose connector. These go on some clips that we installed earlier. They swing down around the seat and they form a nice visible roll cage on the outside of the truck. The steering wheel is quite literally just that, just like a steering wheel piece on a one round plate with a bar. Next up we have this, what I'm calling a bulkhead, or just like the rear of the cabin basically. It's kind of interesting assembly, 7 studs wide, again tons of studs on one end here, and 2 bar pieces sticking on this end. And you can see there are some plates with holes in them down here. Get that thing to focus. And this very nicely slides right into those. And this creates the rear cabin window, which is an actual window, or like, I'm not sure, it's probably not a glass window in a Baja truck, but some sort of window or thing that would be a window on the street going T100. And it also creates a very nice attachment point for the roof. Next up we have a small assembly that just forms these fins, or I think the racing number goes on this place normally on the truck. And this is just a assembly of several bar pieces or bar and clip elements, and then 2 road signs on either side to form those fins and go together on this somewhat Y-shaped assembly. Just straighten out the fins here. And this goes right in the back of the truck. and it lines up quite nicely with the large rear cabin assembly which we just put in. Alright, at this point it's starting to get pretty dark, and the only light that I have on this side of the room is really warm, so maybe I'll try and turn it down in post, but I'll switch to the other camera so you guys don't have to see this horrible lighting. The shadows here are horrible, guys, I'm sorry. This was looking pretty good when the room was fully lit, but now not so much. Well, I mean, it looks cool, but just a little bit difficult to see. Anyway, we have these two panels that form the rear part of the truck bed. Obviously not really much of a truck bed on a Baja truck, but they go on here and this one on this side, and they just kind of form the ends of this, and they look quite clean, and they make this section here look really good in my opinion. And then we have this, I don't know what, it's like some sort of box with like fans and stuff on it, and a hose on it, which is represented by a crowbar piece here, and this goes on top right here, like so. Earlier I could not remember what this gray box is. I now remember what it is because we are attaching the fuel filler line thing, and it connects to that gray box. I'm pretty sure it's the fuel tank, and that goes right there, like so. So you guys see it like that. I now have several tires here, but we shall attach one for now, the spare tire. See if I can get this on there. And now we will attach the roof, which is quite simple. It's basically just a bunch of tiles. Then we have these other two panels with some lights on them. There's that. Then I'll just get the wheels here, and there we go. A Lego Toyota T100 Baja truck. Alright, so with that, we have finished the Baja truck. I'm sitting like all the way across the room for some reason, but the lighting looks better this way, so yeah. Anyway, this is like one of my favorite models I've ever built, and I think it's one of your guys', well, if you've seen it before, then that's might be one of your favorite models that I've built as well. And I'm very happy to hear that from a lot of you guys. I guess that's it really. You guys saw how it goes together. Like I said, if you'd like to build it, instructions are available. I think one of the reasons why this works so well in Lego is just the color gradients, because the livery is not something kind of crazy like this other Toyota I did recently, which is the Castrol Supra, which I like the livery on this one, but it's obviously really choppy and a little bit all over the place. Well, this one, livery and the real thing, well, besides not being super complicated, it's just there's the gradient on the hood, there's the gradient on the side, and that's kind of it. I mean, while there are more stickers and stuff in the real one, this captures it very simply. It just works so nicely, and I'm very happy with it. So like I said at the beginning, instructions are available if you'd like to build it yourself. They are linked down below. If you'd like to buy the shirt, which actually is conveniently positioned right behind me with the truck on it. Look at that. Can we, wait, hold up. Look at that. It's like right there. Sign up for the email list, also in the description, so you can see when that goes live, and the other shirt I mentioned. So thank you so much for watching. Jesus loves you, and I hope you will return for the next video.